So diversification helps to reduce risk. Hence the reason why there's investment products like indices, for example, the US 30. So what the US 30 does is it is an index that collects pricing data of 30 most performing US companies, and it is bundled up to create one share price that one person can purchase. What this does is, instead of me just betting on the fact that Tesla will perform this year and it doesn't perform, then I'll lose. But for me just betting on the fact that within these 30 companies, let me buy the stock of the US 30, and even if there's two companies that are really underperforming, they'll still be brought in a good price. Hence the reason why most people run to that, because it has that element of diversification.
Okay, I've heard a lot of such kind of investments. I've heard of the S&P 500, and now you're talking about the US 30. So we're in Tanzania.
Yeah.
So realistically, how can someone in Tanzania invest in those kind of stuff? Because I personally don't know how to.
All right. So for Tanzania, it's really hard to invest in those stuffs because we don't really have the regulations for doing so. But I said the capital market has given access to a local investor to participate in East African communities and SADC communities where there are funds. Let's talk about the Kenyan market. The Kenyan market is well developed. It helps a person to even have access to such stocks or markets. So there are fund managers that are in Kenya, there are fund managers that are in East Africa that can provide or simply have access to such markets. Okay, so you can simply invest in a fund, and that is where you can access those markets. At the moment, that is the way, but I believe in the near future we're definitely going to reach there, because when you look at the strategic plan for capital markets from 2018, it was said that by 2022 we're supposed to have an open capital account, but we have managed to open to East Africa community and SADC. So possibly in the near future we're going to have more access.
You talked about trading, so I'm actually interested in why have you been more active in currency trading than stocks and all the others?
Yes. So when you remember, as I said, I started trading when I was in my first year, and back in the day, I was very interested in investing in stocks. Okay, after watching The Wolf of Wall Street, you have all that drive. So now, when you look at areas where you would want to invest in, the barriers of entries are huge. I didn't have the capital nor the proper information or techniques to emerge or immerse into my trading strategies. So that led me to go into the asset class that will give me returns, but also it is easier for me to access. That's the reason why I went into currency trading, more famously known as Forex trading. Yeah. But at the moment we have developed into, so within that journey I've developed into knowing the East African market, knowing the Tanzanian securities market. Yes. So we participate in all that.
As Brever and Black Consult Group, what are some investment trends or opportunities that you're currently looking at that are actually interesting?
Okay, so for me, I was, if that question was asked to me, 2-3 years ago, I would definitely have dropped in a crypto asset. But at the moment, I'm not even applying that into my portfolio, given the fact that it doesn't have an intrinsic value. So we're basically based more on assets that are shying away from the US dollar. Not that the US dollar does not still retain its global reserve, currency, but it's because the US dollar is still very volatile, fluctuating. So it is not an asset that we go towards the most. So we shy away from assets that are related to the USD. That is what, again, I can say on that.
Talk about the markets. So what methods do you guys use to assess your portfolios?
All right, so we basically assess them in terms of institutional order basis. What I mean is, I don't want to sound too technical, but this is simply sitting down on a screen and viewing numbers. So there is a platform or a terminal that provides numbers or data all around the world, known as a QuickBook. So these datas, an order book, sorry. So these datas, you can analyze them so as you can know areas where retail traders are participating more and institutional traders are not. So that is where we take advantage. Areas where we know for a fact that institutional orders would have to come to rescue. So let me just put it in simple context. When you're dealing with buying and selling, there are areas when there is a time an iPhone maybe it's sold at $500, but it's only one iPhone in the 100 buyers. That iPhone could jump into price because now this person sees it has all these buyers that want to buy that same iPhone for $500. So what an institute can do to make sure that demand and supply are met in between, they can chip in to produce more iPhones. Okay, let's put that into trading aspect. There are times when a currency asset is very, very favorable to buyers. So a lot of people enter as buyers. Hence the reason why putting in a lot of buying orders, and most of them being retail traders. So at the end of the day, remember you're using a broker who is going now to match these buying orders because you can't buy something that is not sold. So hence the reason why institutions now would come to the rescue to put in huge sums of selling orders. So that is where we now take advantage.
Okay. And you talk about the investment part. For people like me, who invested $50 into Dogecoin and expected $20
Yeah.
what advice do you have for someone who likes to invest into something that has blew up already? Because Musa used to tell me, when you see something that has blew up already, don't invest. So what do you advise have for the people that see Bitcoin growing, that right now is trending, they would invest a lot of money into it?
I would advise them to listen to Musa more. So because that's the same advice I would give you. If you see something booming, you shy away from it.
You know, it's because most of the time you make profit when you buy, not when you sell. So you have to make sure, like when you're buying, you have to buy at discounted price. And most people, you talked about Bitcoin, you talked about Dogecoin. Most people come to see this kind of investments when they're already in
Too
the
late.
mainstream, when it's already on the bull market.
Yeah.
So there's something called like fear of missing out. So most people have that fear. So the fear causes them to buy when the prices are high. You know, what goes up must come down. So the people who makes money are the ones that buy when the prices are low. There's the saying that you have to buy when there's bloods in the streets. Like, yeah, when everyone is selling, when everyone is scared, when everyone is fearful, that's when you have to be greedy.
Definitely.
Yeah, and when you see now everyone is turning greedy, that's when you have to dump everything that you have and wait. Patience is key, and wait
definitely
until the market goes
Musa
down
more,
again. So yeah, that's my personal strategy.
For the
for
people
my
that are watching
experience.
this, as Musa said earlier, this is not financial advice. This is strictly just us talking and discussing the world of investment, trading. And Brever, as I said earlier, famously known as the biggest Forex trader in the market.
Thank you, bro.
You started doing this when you were in school. And I'm sure sometimes, you know, when we were in school, we see a lot of people doing other stuff and you're like, let me just try this. You decided to go for trading. Everyone knows you as the biggest trader in Tanzania. But if you're not a trader, what could you be doing? Could you be in the streets hustling? Could you own different companies? What could you be doing?
Okay, I have a degree in economics and statistics. I've done a master's in international business entrepreneurship. So you can see all things that I've been doing or studying are all channeled into investing. So I really didn't have any sort of safety net that I would, I felt like I would jump into that. My parents insisted a lot into having, this shop, that shop. And so I'm happy to have been fortunate enough to have, parents who really wanted you to move forward. But you should know that if you have something that you're really aiming to achieve, you just do it regardless of anything. So that is what I did. I stuck into trading. All my studies, as I said, my bachelor's degree, my master's in UK, I did all that because of trading. And at the moment, I'm happy to have finished the certificate to become a certified investment advisor by CMSA. So I really didn't have any other choice.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does Black Concert Group stay informed of the new regulations that happen every day in the investment landscape?
Well, the regulations are always placed out. So if you go into the capital markets website, you can get all the regulations, the new regulations and the ones that are old. So it's just the issue of us being, compliant in terms of knowing what the new regulations are. And in fact, there are new regulations that just came in. So it's just the issue of us being compliant as a company, and that is exactly what we do, not because we are mandated to do so, but because we really care about being on top of our stuff.
So let's talk about technology. Technology has been advancing real fast, and we have seen, for example, just let's say 10 years ago, people used to hire pilots to shoot those aerial view videos or photos. But right now, pilots have lost their jobs. People are using drones. For example, another example, when we started our podcast, we used to edit, cut ourselves, and then we came out and found Autopod that can edit your podcast for you. We used to research on Google, we used to research on YouTube, let's say, but right now we just go and use ChatGPT. So technology has shortened the time and has eased our job. So when it comes to trading specifically and managing portfolio, what kind of new technologies or artificial intelligence do you use in terms of making your job more easier?
Nice. So yes, we do incorporate technology or AIs into our system. Areas where we have incorporated that is in the risk parameters of the portfolio. So in short, what it does is it provides a safety mode in case there is a catastrophic event. And this is a plan for the company, that in case there's an event where a company cannot do anything about it, me as a trader, I cannot do anything about it, or even the broker cannot do anything about it. So that is where now the AI comes in play, where now it manages risk. Another way that you can manage risk is in terms of breaking even on trades, which now this, for those who do not understand the terms, is this simply helps you to enter into a trade, but in case you are not around, the AI can help you put a break-even order where if the trade now doesn't go in accordance to your terms, it can just simply close itself at a zero loss or zero profit. So another area where we use is in incorporating data in journaling the trades. Yes, so there is applications you can use like TrackFX. Those help you to journal your trades very well, and this is one of the key aspects as a trader of any financial asset to have or to use in order for you to develop.
And talking about new technologies, there's something that I came across the other day. Right now, a lot of jobs, humans are being replaced by robots. We have seen this in different kinds of industries. So one day I was on Instagram and I saw this guy. He was actually claiming that he has a Forex trading robot, that he can sell you a robot and the robot can place trades for you, can take profits for you and make money for you. I don't know why is he selling it. So maybe he could have just kept it for himself, but he's selling it for like $300. So what do you think about those kind of Forex trading robots?
First, you shouldn't never purchase those things, because they need to first be regulated. You don't even know if the robot has, because what a robot does is it makes its own advancements, right? It makes its own advancements. So that means the robot needed to have extensive data, not even yearly data, 2 or 3 or 5 years data. And now when you notice that these people come in with robots, given the fact that AI is starting to boom within this, 1 or this year, that is when it started to really boom. And all these robots are coming out. You should know that most of these robots are not very well fed when it comes to data, hence the reason why they cannot be competent. So run away from someone doing that.
Now, for our listeners who are looking to get started with an investment firm, what advice would you give them to prepare for their first meeting with a portfolio manager?
Well, first is to sit down and assess the amount of money they're willing to lose. And second is to ask for regulatory status of that investment firm. Yes, and third, simply listen to them. And after that, do not take advice because of what you've been told. It's because of what you've researched. So if that research corresponds very well with what your investment advisor said, and at the moment we have access to a lot of data. Even you see, Musa here has a huge extensive knowledge in terms of investing, like as if he's certified. So data is present. Yeah.
Adding into that, I would also suggest that investing, from what I know, is investing is for the rich. You cannot be poor and think about investing. You cannot invest money that you have saved for food. So before you invest, just make sure, let's say you have your emergency fund set, you have money for your daily activities, and then the amount that's left, that's what you can invest. Because you cannot just invest today and then tomorrow expect, okay, I'm going to take it out and go and buy groceries. It won't work for you. But what I know is investing is what makes the rich richer and the poor poorer.
To end this episode, where do you see Black Concept Group in the future? Do you have any proper plans you'd like to share with us, or is it something we should come and see?
Where I see Black Concept going is, at the moment, as I said, we're only dealing with providing education to cover the issue of information gap, and we have started an initiative known as Charting the Future with Black Concept, where we've tried to partner with a broker, a CMA licensed broker in Kenya called Xfinity Group, FXTM, famously known as the trading name of FXTM. Why so? It's because you can't trade without a broker. So a broker is an essential part to anyone who wants to invest. And from there, now we are looking to go further into an aspect of becoming a fund manager in the future when the capital markets of Tanzania have actually developed to acquire that. And at the moment, it's strategic because we really do not need the systems of being a fund manager. And after that, we're aiming to become an investment bank by 2030. So that is simply the roadmap of the company.
I really liked when you said you have a broker who is licensed by CMA.
CMA of Kenya, yeah.
Yeah, because I was once scammed by a broker. I just found a broker from South Africa and I tried to put my money inside. Then the broker ran away with my money. That was a very big risk. It was not a calculated risk. Yeah, it was not calculated at all.
Yeah.
But I didn't have proper knowledge. So when he said there is a broker that's satisfied, at least it can protect your investment when you do that.
Yes, definitely. Whether be it you want to participate in East Africa or even into the Tanzanian market, don't let anyone tell you that they are taking your money to invest it for you if they do not have a license directly from capital markets. And there is no one who is taking someone's money to invest in Forex trading. That's not allowed because the regulations are not yet in play. So yeah, if you're looking to invest, make sure you work with a licensed broker. That's the only way you can at least be sure of your money, because these guys, when they go for the licenses, they have all these requirements they need to fill. One of them is having a liquidity provider. So like in Kenya, you have to have, for a broker to be there, they need to have almost 3 million USDs in a liquidity provider's account in case of a catastrophic event, meaning all its clients can be compensated in a well manner. Yeah.
So you talked about a movie that really inspired you to be a trader. You talked about Wolf of Wall Street. It's actually a very nice movie. I recommend for everyone to watch that has interest in trading and investing. So people love movies. So what other movies can you give to our audience that they can watch about investing?
Okay, well, I've watched a lot of movies, but the two that I would recommend is definitely The Wolf of Wall Street. It shows you how, one can be resilient in times when everything seems to be off in the market. And the other movie is The Big Short. That's the perfect movie you can watch. You can get to understand how banks can create investment products that at the end of the day, they're the ones that led to the economic crash in 2007. So you can get to understand that, the finance industry is a very flexible industry. It's an industry where you can make a lot of money when you actually sit down, do your research and bring one and two together. So The Big Short will give you that sort of motivation that you need.
That was Brever, guys. We shot it here at Black Concept Group. If you guys want to learn more about Brever, make sure you guys follow him. His Instagram will be on the description. And make sure you guys stay tuned for the next episode. Also like, comment,
And subscribe.